Hi, today we're going to review the mobile inspection web-based management portion of the system. The management portion of the system can be accessed in a web browser by navigating to the website app.mobileinspection.com. Once on the website, you'll have the login area where you can enter your email address and the password provided to you. This will allow you to log in to the management system. Once logging in, you will arrive at your dashboard, where real-time data widgets will display data as it comes into the system. These widgets are customizable for each client dependent upon the specific needs of the data that's being captured. You'll also have a schedule view to review exactly what's going on for this week within your system. On the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to notice the different management areas of the web-based system, from your clients and locations to the inspections and schedule to your issues module, and then into your management system where you can manage all of the inspection templates. The flexibility in mobile inspections templates allow you to create each item independently with a number of different variables, allowing you to capture the data exactly the way you need to provide the most value to your organization. Starting here on the Clients tab, the Clients tab will allow you to set up your company hierarchy, allowing you to be able to visualize the different levels and areas within your company and how each one is performing. As you can see here, my mobile inspection demo client has no parent client. That's letting me know that it's the highest level within my hierarchy. Underneath of the demo client, you'll see I have the East Coast, Strongsville, West Coast, and Safety Council divisions. Each one of those divisions then can have a number of locations associated to it. And at each level of the hierarchy, you have the ability to set up users, allowing them to only access the information pertaining to the specific section of the hierarchy at which they reside. By navigating down to the Locations tab, you'll be able to see all of the different locations set up in my system and at which part of the hierarchy those are attached. As you can see here, the Arizona office is in the West Coast, the Brunswick office is in the East Coast division, the corporate office is at our corporate location, so on and so forth. I have the ability to add or adjust any clients or locations within my hierarchy at any time. Moving down into the Inspections tab, the Inspections tab will give you a list view of all the inspections that you currently have set up within your system. From assigned to in progress to completed to in review, you'll be able to access all of the inspections within your system. As you can see here in my list view, it's going to give me the inspection number, the client at which that inspection is taking place, the template that's used for that inspection, the location at which that is occurring, the primary inspector assigned to that inspection, the date that that inspection was scheduled, and if completed, the date and time that inspection was completed. By clicking on the inspection number in the list view, it will navigate me to the inspection, and I can see all the information pertaining to that inspection, including the details, the information, and down below I'll be able to see every question that resides within this inspection. I can click on any of those questions to view the results that were given as well. In this case, you can see that it was press 125424. And as I continue to click on additional questions within this inspection, I can see the responses, in this case that the left side of the inside is exposed, as well as a photo of that for additional information when completing that inspection. I also have the ability to download that inspection report, and so by clicking on the download button, that will go ahead and download that inspection to my device and I can view the results. I can go ahead and open that inspection PDF that has been downloaded. You can see it's going to let me know exactly what type of inspection occurred, all of the inspection, location, inspector, date, and score information. And so all of the inspections within the system have the ability to be scored. So based on the response that's given on any independent question, there can be a score tied to that. And then overall, the entire inspection can have a final score. In this case, you can see that the score was 40% with a 2% reduction, giving it a final score of 38%. As I scroll down on that inspection template, I can see all of the questions, information, and photos that were captured. Scrolling down to the bottom, it's going to give me my summary of responses captured, number of images, my classification settings, scores, and reductions that were tied to this specific inspection. These inspection results, based on each individual template, can also have routing rules to have results email out to any individuals that you deem necessary to see the results of these inspections. Moving on to the Schedule tab now. The Schedule tab will give me a lot of the same information that the Inspection tab will give you. However, it displays it now in a calendar view. On each day, which inspections are scheduled to be completed and by what users those inspections are scheduled to. As you can see here on my screen now, I can see all of the inspections and statuses that they're in. On the left-hand side, I'll get an overview of all the information residing within my calendar. In this case, I have 6 completed, 163 in an assigned status. I can see the breakdown to which how many inspections are assigned to each location, as well as how many inspections each inspector has. I have the ability to click on any of these items in the left-hand menu to remove them from my scope of view. For example, if I click on the Corporate Ohio location, it's going to remove those inspections from my calendar view. I can continue doing that with the Brunswick office or the Indianapolis office as well, refining my results down to only the remaining 3 locations within this scope. I can add any locations back in by simply clicking on them in the list, bringing them back into view. From the Schedule page, you'll also have the ability to schedule new inspections. So at the top of the screen, there's a new inspection button. Like clicking on the new inspection button, it's going to open up a pop-up window where I can then go ahead and set the criteria for the inspection that I'm looking to schedule. When scheduling inspections from the mobile inspection system, you have the ability to schedule both single and recurring inspections, as well as to one location or multiple locations at a single time. In this case, I can schedule an inspection for one location. In this case, I can schedule an inspection for my West Coast client using the equipment template for my Arizona office. I can schedule this inspection both on a single and recurring basis. And so for a single inspection, I can go ahead and select the date that I want that to be completed on. In this case, I will select today's date. And I can also set the day that I want that to be completed on. And so in this case, I'll say that I want it completed by Friday. In this setup, I'll then be able to select an individual inspector. This will then create this inspection for this template, scheduled on and due on these dates to this individual. By selecting the recurring option in the schedule, I can set the same criteria, the equipment checklist at my Arizona office, and I can have that recur as often as I'd like. In this case, I can select a start date. I can select the number of days until it's due. In this case, I can say I want it due in 4 days. I can select how I want that to repeat. Do I want it to repeat daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly? And then how often? In this case, setting it up as a weekly repeat, I can say I want it to repeat every 1 week. If I wanted this to be a bi-monthly audit, I could set that up to repeat every 2 weeks. I could set that to repeat every 2 months, every 2 days. Based on the exact repetition that you'd like those inspections to be scheduled on, you'll have the ability to set that with our recurring schedule module. For a multiple location assignment, if I toggle to the multiple side here on the details, this will allow me to select out of a list a number of locations, assigning the inspection based on the recurrence here to a specific job title. And so each user in the system can be assigned to job titles. Job titles at each independent location would get the assignment based on the selection here. Once you submit that recurring inspection, that will then go into production, and based on the recurrence that was selected, it will automatically schedule within the system without ever having to be managed again. Moving on to the Issues module. The Issues module will allow you to track, manage, and assign different issues that are found in your locations, job sites, or operation to be able to take those through to a level of complete. I can navigate to any issues within my system. I can see the issue. I can track whether an injury was involved, whether it was a repeat issue, the client and location at which it occurred, the individual it was assigned to, the status that it's in, the severity level of the issue, and you can create custom categories as well. You'll have the ability to track the resolution dates and notes, as well as upload images of findings and resolutions to the issues module to track. In the management section, this will allow you to manage your different inspection templates within the system. By navigating to the Templates tab, I can see all of the inspection templates that I have set up in my system. So based on the industry or type of inspections you're looking to complete, you'll be able to fully customize this list of inspections to match exactly what you need to accomplish. Each inspection has its own set of questions and rules behind it, allowing you to get them to operate exactly how you need. For example, by navigating to an inspection template, I can open it up and see how this inspection was created and works. I can make adjustments to this inspection. I could add or remove questions, adjust questions within it, or set up different events or reminders. Here I'm on the General Settings tab, where I can see all of the information relating to this specific template. In this case, it's a confined space entry checklist. It's set up at my mobile inspection demo client level. There's no classifications currently set up on it. It's active. It's currently not set to be shared, however, I'm going to go ahead and set that to be shared. Shared templates allow you to set them up at the top level of the hierarchy, share those down to all levels below the top level, allowing them to access and utilize those templates, but not giving them the ability to make any adjustments on them, to really control what inspections are being completed and how those are being managed. By selecting the Needs Review button, it will put that inspection in a Needs Review status once it's been completed. You'll also have the ability to set up emails, whether these go out on complete or on aggregate daily. And so depending upon the number of inspections that would be completed each day with this specific template, you can have the inspection results go out upon completion, or they can aggregate and send out one email nightly containing all inspection PDFs completed with this inspection on a daily basis. As I scroll down, you'll get into the inspection template itself, where we can now see all of the questions that reside within this specific template. In this case, there's 35 questions that you're going to go through when completing this inspection. Each question gets set up independently, and so by clicking on the Edit button, I can show you how each question is configured. Each question will be associated to a client. Each question will be associated to a category. You'll have your control types, and the control type is going to be how do you want to respond to this question on this inspection. And so you'll have a number of different ways to respond. You can respond via text, numerical, monetary, date, time, percentage, decimals, single selection or multiple selection lists, photo only, as well as signature capture. Based on the selection made here, that will drive the response type that they get on the mobile application. They'll also have the instructions here, which is going to be the question itself. In this case, it's asking for a date. On specific questions, you may want to add additional help text that they can reference when completing those items to give them a little more context. This can be things like code references or additional information on how to report specific items. You can select whether an item is required, whether it allows comments, which would give an additional comments box to add additional information, whether you want to allow multiple, and allow multiple would allow you to duplicate a single question as many times as needed on an individual inspection, whether you want it to be included in the email distribution, and your minimum and maximum image ranges. And so you can allow or not allow photos or force photos to be taken on any given question. The minimum image slider represents the minimum number of images allowed on that question. The maximum range displays what the maximum number of images on that question would be. You'll also notice on the left-hand side that there's a bank of questions, and so as questions get created on other templates, you have the ability to reuse those on future templates. And so I could select any question here in the left-hand side to add to this template by simply clicking on it. You'll see now that it goes grayed out and it can't be selected. And if I scroll down here to the bottom of this template, you'll see that new question has been added here. In this case, I'm going to remove it because I didn't want it on that template. You can also create new questions altogether by clicking the plus button. which will give you a pop-up window and allow you to enter the criteria from the information that we just reviewed moments ago on an already created question. Moving back to the top, in this case the first tab is the report options. The report options allow you to enter any custom verbiage that you'd like to display on the inspection report when it gets completed, on the first page or on the last page of that report. The Events tab will allow you to set up both conditional and completion events. A completion event will allow you to create a group of email addresses that you'd like the results of this inspection to be sent to upon completion. And a conditional event will allow you to work in the corrective action rules engine to this inspection template. And so by selecting a conditional event, it would allow me to select a classification option. Those classification options could be things like pass or fail, compliant or non-compliant, deficient or non-deficient. In that case, I could select fail, and so by selecting a classification option of fail, I could then select a specific job title that this inspection would get re-inspected to. So based on the selection of failure, it would trigger a secondary inspection that would get assigned to the EHS manager that would then be able to go out and take a look at the issue that was identified, correct that issue, and have that corrective action documentation for the full life cycle of any issues identified. The Reminders tab will allow you to set up reminders that will get sent out to the inspectors before or after an inspection scheduled to be completed. The Quick Schedule tab, as you can see here in my list, I have 6 different inspection templates set to the Quick Schedule, which would then display on the mobile application of the inspectors as they click the Quick Schedule button. The remaining items here are management screens for specific items on templates, and so I can see in the items categories the different categories that are set up that I can use on different inspection templates. Again, I can add, adjust, or maintain these as much as I'd like. The issues categories are the different categories that can be selected through the issues module. I could again add as many of those as I'd like. The classifications will show you the different classification ranges that you have set up within your system. The ranges will show you the different inspection question ranges. So if you select a single or multiple selection list, these are the different lists that can be selected to use in those drop-down options. Again, these lists are fully customizable based on the needs of your location. The Items tab will show all of the questions that have ever been created within your system. This will give you the ability to navigate, manage, or maintain any of those questions at any time. The Item Sets tab will allow you to take a group of questions, put them into a item set, which we reviewed in our previous video on the mobile application. An item set is a group of questions that can be duplicated on the mobile application as many times as needed within a single inspection, allowing you to capture the exact number of items needed without having to schedule multiple inspections to complete. Your job titles are things that can associate individual employees to specific corrective action rules. And your email groups are groups of email addresses that can be attached to send results of inspections to. In the administrator section, you'll have the ability to see all of the users you have in your system. And on the reports tab will allow you to report and analyze the data that's being captured. For example, on our risk assessment reporting, if you're doing risk assessments within your facility or job site, you'll have the ability to utilize our risk assessment template and report to do full risk assessments. In this case, I can select the risk assessment inspection I'd like to run the report for. By running that report, I'll get my full risk assessment matrix that I can download and utilize. As you can see here, all of the information captured on that risk assessment is identified, and we have a full risk matrix identifying the most egregious items within that risk assessment for you to review. Thank you for reviewing the mobile inspection management system. Check out our other videos for more detailed information on items within the management system.